Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and we are back with more news and politics. This time for Tuesday, August the 27th, 2024. I am late doing this, but that's okay. Getting it in at the end of the day. First article we want to look at from ProPublica. What mental health care protections exist in your state? Insurers have wide latitude on when and how they can deny mental health care. We looked at the laws in all 50 states and found that some are charting new paths to secure mental health care access. Again, insurance shouldn't have any role to fucking play. This should be something provided to people nationally. But insurance has wormed their way into a system where hospitals and healthcare providers charge exorbitant rates. And the insurance is like, oh, we'll pay that as long as you provide for us. No, motherfuckers, what we need to do is take back control of healthcare providers, hospitals, clinics, everything. If you want to work in healthcare, you should be paid a more reasonable rate. Services should be more reasonable. People don't need to be dying because they can't afford to go to a fucking healthcare location. Fuck you, motherfuckers. Period. Period. Fuck the goddamn insurance companies. They need their asses kicked the fuck out. But yeah. Accessing mental health care can be a harrowing ordeal, even if a patient finds a therapist in their network. Their insurance company can overrule that therapist and decide the prescribed treatment isn't medically necessary. This kind of interference is driving mental health professionals to flee networks, which makes treatment hard to find and puts patients in harm's way. Again, insurance companies shouldn't have any control over this kind of thing. Who defines what mental health care is necessary? In the green, states with laws defining clinical standards or criteria for coverage decisions on mental health care. So yeah, New York, Connecticut, Illinois, Minnesota, Washington, Oregon, California, New Mexico, and Georgia. They have laws that define clinical standards or criteria for coverage decisions on mental health care. Meaning, hey, we have laws that say this is what mental health care is. You can't just say, we disagree. No, you have to follow it. And of course, they're what usually called left-leaning states. Motherfucker. I don't care if they're left-leaning, right-leaning, lean fat, lean bacon. I don't give a goddamn. They're doing the right goddamn fucking thing, motherfucker. How can insurers challenge medical health or mental health treatment? States with laws regulating how insurers conduct reviews of behavioral health care. That's much more vast. Yeah. But it still don't even look like it's a half and half. Fuck the goddamn states that protect insurance companies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 22, 23, 24. So just under half say you need to follow a set of rules. Again, there's such a love of money and deregulation, and it needs to fucking end. What must insurers reveal about mental health care access? States with laws requiring insurers to report how much access they provide to mental health care. At least this is a majority of the country. You're still far right groups are very libertarian. I see you, Vermont. Um, say that no, we don't care. Insurance has a right to do what the fuck they want. But yeah, that's in essence what this article's about. It's an interesting, quick look at it, but yeah. We got some pics from the Appalachia Reddit. Grandma had the corner market. Yeah. For sale, Appalachian canister set with lids like new. Serious offers only. Yeah. The old country crock shed spread. The old margarine containers with the lids. I am very familiar with this. I have had to use it a few times in my life. Yeah. You get done with it. No, that's a good bow. It has a lid. Keep it. You know how many freaking Cool Whip bows I have that I use because they make good bows. That's just the way it is. But yeah, this was a good one posted by a dorkable anything 4964. I thought it was a pretty interesting little pic. Just yeah, I'm very familiar with this kind of setup. Another one from the Appalachian Reddit. First fruit of the season. If you're not familiar with it, pawpaws. They grow in this area. They're very common in Appalachia, so southern Appalachia, especially when you get West Virginia, Kentucky, Virginia, Tennessee, North Carolina. You'll find pawpaw bushes. A big, in fact, they're known as to play a part in the Hatfield McCoy feud because they tied some of the members of one family up to a pawpaw bush and shot them. But yeah, pawpaws. Just something I thought I'd share. It'd be something interesting. Are there? This is from Ask Science Reddit. Are there any ways? Are there any proposed ways to peacefully harness nuclear energy besides turning water into steam, which is your usual way that nuclear power plants run. The heat turns the water to steam using that energy to harness energy for other actual electrical uses. It seems to me as a total idiot when it comes to physics that turning the energy produced by nuclear reaction into steam by essentially boiling water feels a bit primitive. I'm sure that this question will roll a few eyes, but I'm binge watching documentaries about nuclear reactors and was a bit surprised that even proposed fusion reactors is geared towards reaction, toward which goes to water, to heat, to steam, to energy. It's the most common way with the energy release provides steam through the heat. We have several ways. Here's some of the responses. We have several ways. One of them is by thermoelectric effect. We put a radioactive lump of material which emits heat exposed to two very different alloys of wire, and current is produced. It has several advantages. One being that it has no moving parts and does not rely on external sources like solar. So it is great for distant spacecraft outside the solar system or electronic equipment in remote regions that are cold and inaccessible. The only downside is, apart from the radioactive danger, it is quite inefficient and you need a lot of the radioactive material. But it can sustain powers for years under exceptional conditions. Steam is used to transfer heat and the energy it contains from the source to convert it into usable energy. With steam, it goes through a turbine that turns it into mechanical energy, which then drives an electric generator. Other methods of turning heat into electricity are far less effective. We have made radioisotope thermoelectric generators, which directly converts radiation into electricity using something called the Seebeck effect. It is used on long-range, low-energy satellites like Voyagers 1 and 2. A generator like this is what Matt Damon used to keep warm in the movie The Martian. Simply because they work really well and nothing can really beat them currently. They are just a very cost-effective and reliable way to generate electricity. Water is very abundant, can change states from liquid to steam without too much extra energy, and is extremely good at absorbing thermal energy and even converting that stored thermal energy into pressure that can do a lot of mechanical work. So, the only thing you need is something that can generate a lot of heat that you can convert into electricity. There's not a whole lot of drive to replace it. Solar and wind are coming along, but that's mainly being driven by a need to not generate CO2 than needing to replace steam. There are ways to convert thermal energy directly into electricity, but they tend to not be as efficient and would struggle to meet current grid demands, especially since they tend to only generate DC power. Someday in the future, we may improve the technology, but the question is still, why spend the money to replace something that doesn't really have a drawback? In never ceases to amaze me how amazing water is. That fun little angle is why we are all here today. Yeah. So essentially, the majority of it is there are other ways, but they're usually less efficient. And yeah, or less cost effective. Okay, here's which countries will contribute to the next billion in population, projected to reach 9 billion by 2037. Shoot, it didn't seem that long ago. We was just at 7 billion. Um, but yeah, India, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Democratic Republic of Congo, Pakistan be a big producer. U.S. is not huge, but for North America, it's the biggest producer. South America won't have too many. Oceania, Australia and such won't have too many. Asia and Africa looks like where the biggest percentages will be from. So yeah. Europe will actually have a negative share. It'll lose population. But some countries, such as the UK, are still expected to grow. So in general, yeah, Europe won't have a whole lot really in there. It's actually, in general, lose population, but the UK is expected to continue to grow. Source: UN World Population Prospects. Interesting. Africa and Asia. Usually the less wealthy nations of the world. You know, India's got the second biggest population already, and they're expected to be the biggest driver of population growth. That's going to leave a bad situation because if you don't have enough resources for a still booming population, yeah, things aren't going to end well. Hear radio as a car goes by down the road. Early 1900s portrait of the New York Society for the Suppression of Vice Secretary Anthony Comstock. Still have the Comstock laws, who waged extensive legal and censorship campaigns against abortion, against masturbation, against contraception, against gambling, against prostitution, and against pornography. He was a major influence on FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover. Yeah. He's one of these we think of nowadays. Oh, I'm so here to make the world a better place. It'd be better without sex and gambling and, you know, it's like, dude, the vices I am worried about is greed. is xenophobia. You're worried about simple things. You are like yeah, fuckers like this shouldn't ever be anywhere near the levers of power. They really shouldn't. From NASA's subreddit, new poster series has images from the Hubble Space Telescope. Star birth in 30 Doradus. It's pretty. It really is. Our galactic center. Is that supposed to be the center of the Milky Way? Yep. The central region of the Milky Way. So what it looks like in the center of our galaxy. Not our universe. Remember, we're in the Milky Way galaxy. One galaxy among millions and millions in the universe. The Milky Way has several millions and billions of star systems within it. So yeah, remember that. And the Bubble Nebula. But yeah, that's the photos they're showing it. I always think the deep space photos are really beautiful. Now let's look at some stories from ABC News. Because these are the kinds of things that should matter. Your average people. Female student at Rice University killed in the dorm room on first day of classes. Rice is in, I believe, Houston, Texas. Female student at Texas's Rice University was shot and killed on Monday by a man authorities said she had been in a dating relationship with. People. There is no reason to resort to this kind of violence. University police responded to a request for a welfare check around 4:30 p.m. local time and found the student, who was identified as Andrea Rodriguez Avila, deceased in her room. Police also discovered an unidentified male with a self-inflicted gunshot wound who was not a member of the Rice community. So the guy kills her and then tries to take his own life, I guess. Self-inflicted. Dude, they were likely both young. There's no reason for this stupidity. Oh my God. Life goes on. I never thought I'd live beyond 40. I'm here now. I almost didn't. Age 38, I had a triple. I had a heart attack which required a triple bypass. Because all three arteries were very close to being completely clogged. Yeah. That kind of stuff should never happen. Especially at that age. Life goes on. It does. Believe me. Next story from the AP. Man distraught over planned sale of his late mother's home fatally shoots family members, and himself. A New York man distraught that he was being forced to move from his late mother's home shot and killed 4 of his family members before taking his own life. Joseph DeLucia Jr. and his family had gathered shortly before noon on Sunday in his mother's home in Syosset, about 30 miles east of Manhattan on suburban Long Island, just 3 days after laying the matriarch to rest. But instead of discussing the planned sale of the home, where DeLucia Jr. also lived, the 59-year-old fired 12 rounds from a shotgun he obtained, killing his 3 siblings and a niece. So likely he still lived with his mother, was taking care of her. And they're like, well, we should sell the place. Dude, he's living there. Just let him live there. Yeah. From Sky News. Blah, blah, blah. Except, oh, yeah, yada, yada. Ukraine war latest. Russian nuclear reactor extremely exposed as Ukraine launches raid on second Russian region. Novgorod, I think they said was the region. The IAEA chief, Rafael Grossi, has said Kursk's nuclear plant reactor is extremely exposed to attack. It comes as Ukraine attempts to push into Russia's Belgorod region, according to reports. Now that Ukraine's went on the offensive, this looks like an actual war. From NBC News, Trump indicted again in federal election interference case following Supreme Court immunity ruling. The Supreme Court's decision last month barred the government from using certain official acts Trump has taken as president in its prosecution. But he's once again being indicted over his efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election loss. An effort that culminated in the January 6th attack. And he very well should be indicted upon it. This is where you see all this inconsistency from right-winger Trump dick suckers. Honestly. It's like, try Hunter Biden here. Okay, fine. He's a regular citizen. Try him. If he committed a crime, he should have to do the time. But Trump should also do the time if he did the crime. And there's pretty much, unrefutable evidence he did. But nope, they don't care. It's like, you're just going after him. Son, he committed a crime. me Trump. This is what we deal with these sniveling Trump lovers. It's like, geez almighty. And then, as a result, the devastating. Legal experts say Jack Smith's appeal could lead to the dismissal of Judge Aileen Cannon for her improper treatment of how she did the case he was working on. You could see this from a mile away. She's just been a sycophant. She's not there to do justice, to follow the Constitution. No, she's there to suck Trump's ball sack. And as are many of the people in power, they don't give a damn about the Constitution anymore. It's the way it is. But you always hear them, oh, the law. And then they cry when you cite the law. It's like, no, that's not the law. It's like, you fucking morons. God damn. There are some things in the law that are open to debate, commented attorney Neil Kiyal. This one is not. When U.S. District Judge Aileen Cannon dismissed the classified documents case against Trump, the man who nominated her, she didn't address whether or not the former president was entitled to store top secret national security documents in a bathroom at Mar-a-Lago. Whether she argued that the case was illegitimate because the prosecutor's special counsel, Jack Smith, was unlawfully appointed, a ruling that rejected prior Supreme Court precedent as non-binding, while at the same time citing conservative Justice Clarence Thomas as if he were the ultimate authority on how and when the Attorney General might delegate his powers. Yeah. It's no longer about law, the Constitution, right and wrong. It's about party bullshit. It really is. We've literally hit the cult of personality. From LGBTQ Nation. GOP lawmaker falsely accused drag queens of pedophilia. Now he has to pay $200,000. If you don't lie, you wouldn't have to worry about it. But no, you wanted red meat for your base. And you lie. And lie. And lie. And you're like, well, all of a sudden, am I being attacked for lying? Motherfucker, because you were lying. God damn. From SciPost, study finds little evidence linking violent video games to increased aggression in adolescents. Duh! This has been proven in study after study after study. No matter how many times people go, shows, music, games, they cause people to be violent. No. All the studies that are run after, over and over and over, have shown this to be bullshit. From the Telegraph, Afghan women defy defy the Taliban by singing for their freedom. Yeah, the Taliban's trying to tighten down, requiring them to wear the hijab and be a lot more covered and everything. But one of the effects of having American style freedom for 20 years, they're like, no, we liked being able to be us. And yeah, go girls. This is one of these times. You go, girl. It requires that. Get them. And from Reuters, Ukraine's Zelensky to present plan to Biden to end war with Russia. Good. I'm glad he has thoughts on how to end this, because it's went on for too freaking long. Zelensky plans to present peace plan to Biden and U.S. presidential candidates. Kiev's incursion into Russia's Kursk region is part of the plan. Zelensky dismisses compromises with Putin, calls dialogue meaningless. Sees follow-up international summit for peace as forum for talks. Yeah, I mean, Russia and Putin have been the aggressor. Ukraine's trying to get its territory back. Crimea, it belonged to Ukraine. The little territory Russia's been taking in this illegitimate war belonged to Ukraine. I don't care where it was fucking 2,000 years ago, 200 years ago. We're talking now. In the last 100 years, motherfucker. In the last 50 years. Russia has been the aggressor. Period. Period. Get the fuck over it if you don't like it. Now we're going to watch some videos here. Yeah. An Israeli soldier who sexually assaulted Palestinians on camera is now being paraded around shows in Israel and treated like a celebrity star. How was it to rape prisoners? I bet that was fun. Them guys deserved it, didn't they? I mean, seriously.
הערב בתוכניתנו לוחם כוח 100 מאיר בן שטרית שהתמודד עם הנוח'בות בשדה תימן ועכשיו מתמודד עם האשמות קשות וכולנו רוצים לשמוע מה יש לו להגיד.
You can even see he's kind of uncomfortable with the whole thing, because he knows what he did wasn't something to be treated like, this was amazing. No. He knows.
וגם יהיה, תגיד לי, לאן אתה עומד ככה?
כי גם אני יכול להיות כוח 100, תראה את הגודל שלך.
אתה?
לא בדיוק 100.
לא.
אז 30.
30 בקושי, הערב 10:30, תבואו.
פתחי ג'אי, הערב ב-10:30.
He knows. He knows what he did is not supposed to be celebrated, loved. Israeli shows up with a gun at the pool, and 2 Mexicans gave him a lesson he'd never forget. Yeah. 2 Texan guys who are of Mexican heritage. Yeah, they have to teach this Israeli fuck a lesson.
I don't know why. He's just faking it. Yeah. Just take it out.
Oh, he does.
Oh, shit.
got a gun and he's got it under like a towel or something. What's the lesson they give this motherfucker?
Go home!
Hey, not worth it. Hey, that way. Not worth it. That shit don't scare me, bro. I promise you.
He's got a gun! Why do you bring a gun to a pool?
Oh, here he goes. He set the gun down, they grabbed it. Now we got a tussle. And he's about to get his just desserts. They put his head under the fucking water.
Oh shit.
He gets his ass handed to him. Quit trying to be a badass.
That's legit good good.
I know, I saw it.
I really didn't think he fucking had one.
Hey. Hold this.
Yeah, motherfucker got what he fucking deserved. You try to be a badass like that. Have a gun. Nah, this isn't fucking Israel where lawlessness is fucking allowed. You pull a gun, you better be ready to fucking use it or you're gonna get your ass beat, bitch. Man kneeling on the ground with hands up was kicked in chest by a cop. The man was hospitalized and then charged with resisting arrest and obstruction. Yeah, watch. This is so... Ooh.
One community are once again furious at its police department after video.
Yeah. The guy was just sitting there like this. And what happens? Fuckhead here who should have his job taken from him and be put in goddamn jail. Just comes along, yeah, I feel like I should kick you.
Video posted on social media shows an officer kicking a suspect who appears to be complying. Investigator Kelly Kennedy
He's on
explains
his
what
knees.
happened and spoke.
He's got his hands up. He's not being belligerent. And what the fuck do they do?
With neighbors who witnessed this incident.
Sadly.
This is why I have no goddamn respect for cops anymore. Fuck every goddamn last one of them. 'Cause this is too fucking common. Too goddamn common.
This isn't new in Canton. There's been a lot of mistrust between the community and police after several controversial use of force incidents just this year. As you can see in the video, 21-year-old Jameer McElroy was on his knees with his hands up when police arrived. Suddenly, he's kicked to the ground by an officer.
I don't understand why
This motherfucker must be fired. Banned from being hired at any police stations ever again. And then put on trial. This is what we need to do with the cops from now on. Because apparently just treating people as people, that don't fucking work for them. So fuck the cocksuckers.
the cop ran up and kicked him in his face, but it was uncalled for.
Police say several people ran and officers chased some of them. They say one suspect was carrying a gun and the chase was called off. Police say officers ordered the suspects to the ground and they appeared to comply. Police say one officer kicked a 21-year-old in the chest. Kimberly Bell also lived.
They appeared to comply, but I was afraid they might have something like a toothpick they would stab us with, so I kicked them in the chest. Fuck you, cocksucker.
Lives in the complex. She didn't see it happen, but said she saw the young men in the parking lot an hour earlier.
It's an old saying, never kick a man while he's down. And that's literally what this man did.
McElroy was charged with resisting arrest and obstructing official business. McElroy's attorney sent us a statement, which reads in part, "It should not be lost on anyone that after officers attacked him and hospitalized him, they issued charges which find no support in the video. Tension between the community and the police has been growing since Frank Tyson died in police custody in April. The coroner's office ruled his death a homicide. The two officers involved are on paid administrative leave. Another officer was...
Yeah, they get... Oh, let's just put you on paid administrative leave till everything fucking blows over. It's not... We're gonna have to take this fucking seriously. We might have to fucking fire and ban your ass from getting hired by police forces again. No, it's... Let's give you paid administrative leave, 'cause you have a goddamn fucking cop union that does nothing but protect your goddamn asses.
Was fired after a video went viral in May of a police dog attacking a man who was already on the ground with his hands behind
I'm surprised they fired him. Holy fuck, they did something right.
his back. Many in the community want to see the officer involved in this case held accountable.
He should be, just like anybody else.
Canton police arrested 3 people, including this 21-year-old. Canton police say the actions of this officer are currently under review.
Look at this. He just runs in, kicks him. But that's become so goddamn fucking common. They act like this is natural processes. This is how it should be done. It looks like the goddamn LA riots, where it's just, no, we're following process. He might have had something, so we're beating the shit out of him to make sure he don't. Motherfucker! It was this kind of shit that the Black Lives Matter protest happened over, but we're still dealing with the dumb fuckery. Last video.
والله وانا بدور عليه
20 يوم ما
والله 20 يوم لما لقيناه
لقيتوها فين؟
لقيناه في مكوم الجثث اللي موجود مدفون في اخر الدنيا ورا فيه وين.
His sister had died during this whole genocide Israel has been committing upon Gaza. Because I absolutely goddamn fucking refuse to call it a fucking war. A fucking war means that both sides are being able to deal damage. And right now, all I see is a goddamn genocide. But yeah, his sister had died, they had buried her. But they continue bombing these places and razed, R-A-Z-E-D, meaning leveled, destroyed, decimated the area where she was buried. And he has pretty much nothing left to even remember her by. Fuck the Netanyahu goddamn government.
كمان عدوان من الشارع من ورا كانوا مجرفينها وكلها كاتبين وهيك. عند الناس دفنينها وكاتبين عليها مجهول، فكان قعد ومحمد زوج أحلام مضى القبر مجهول إلا ونبشناه بدي أختي، إيش أعمل؟ حرمة أوكي، بس بدي أختي، بدي أعرف قبرها وين. أقل ما في طيب أوكي، ماتت الله يرحمها وهذه الروح لله، لكن بيعنيني روحيا، بيعنيني الحنين إنها تتعافى. مش هسامحك تقول لي لو ما لقيتش قبر أختك، أنا ما بعرف، بدي القبر.
Yeah. My heart goes out. I mean, you've got nothing now. Only the memories you have. There's no memorial, there's no grave. The Israeli IDF made sure of that. I've said this before and I'll say it again. They need to break down the walls that surround Gaza and open the whole area back up. There needs to be a peacekeeping force that keeps Israel out and away from kicking people from their homes, as has been going on in other parts of Israel. The Palestinian people in Israel are being systematically decimated. They're flattening, razing Gaza to the ground, and in the other parts where Palestinians are, their homes are just being taken by Israelis. They kick the Palestinians out, usually with the support of IDF or other armed Israelis, and take their homes. And they act like, oh, they have the right to do that. No, motherfuckers. No, you don't. They're evil shits. Fuck Zionism. Fuck the Netanyahu government. I don't give a goddamn if you used to live there. If your ancestors lived there 2,000 fucking years ago. That don't matter. I see a group that was like, yeah, let them move in here. Some were resistant to it, but the first thing Israelis tried to do, fucking drive them out. Fuck the goddamn Zionist bullshit. Fuck the goddamn Netanyahu government. Fuck every goddamn last motherfucker who believes that kind of bullshit. And you Christian fucks who are like, they're just completing a Christian prophecy. Motherfucker. Your behavior is why I am glad I am an atheist. I wouldn't want a world where there is such a God like that. No, fuck you. Fuck your belief system. Fuck your God. Fuck your devil. All the bullshit you have in it. If that's what is in store for us, fuck that. I'd rather have humanity, proper kindness. Jesus sure as fuck didn't act that fucking way. And yet you're like, no, we like the fact that, they're completing. Motherfucker, no, you goddamn sons of bitches. That's not fucking acceptable. Anyway, let's go ahead and end this. It's already about a 50-some minute video. But this has been a look at the news and politics from around the world for Tuesday, August the 27th, 2024. As always, educate thyself, think, read, study, learn. Someone tells you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll be putting links and sources in the description box below the video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.